All right, well, welcome back to Photo Story, and today Nala and I are going to take you someplace that you probably haven't been to, and it's the country of Tunisia. And let me show it to you up on a map. It's flashing there right now so you can go ahead and see it. And I have been to Tunisia twice, and mainly the reason is my wife is actually Tunisian. So fun fact there, and I bet a lot of you haven't been to Tunisia either or quite knew where it was. Hopefully that's some interesting information. But this particular trip that I took, we went to, among other things we've done, and we'll have some other videos as well about Tunisia, but we went to kind of an international carnival of sorts where a lot of vendors with clothing and stuff came to the town of Sfax in Tunisia, and that was up on the map as well, to sell their goods. But they also had some rides and things like that. And then we're going to go into a few other pictures as well. So I've got a few pictures to go through. So I've actually printed some pictures, and you'll be able to see them up on your screen. So the first one, yes, Nala, we're going to look at some photos. Okay, here we go. And Nala may walk across, but that's okay. Come on, sweetie, sit down. Sit down, sweetie. Here you go. Okay. See, we don't want to interrupt the video. Okay. All right, so the first picture I want to take a look at is actually of these go-karts right here. And this is one of the things that was set up there at the particular fair, the carnival. And of course, you see the people there in the background, but the main interest I had was really in the guy here at the ticket booth. And this is kind of a theme of a lot of these photographs. I don't know if they're just not excited to be there, or they're depressed, or a lot of times too in different cultures. I know in the United States, like customer service people are always supposed to be very friendly and excited and all that stuff. Tunisia is not quite like that, and I don't think it's because they're being rude. It's just a different culture. But he's there taking your tickets and kind of staring at me, wondering what I'm doing. So that's one of the pictures we've got right there. Okay, and this other one here, this particular guy here in the go-kart pen, if you want to call it that, was actually helping drive the little kids around, maybe that couldn't drive. So he's kind of just hanging around there, and it seemed like a normal day to him. And he got a little, I think he got a little Ferrari back there, and all sorts of fun colors, and the kids having a good time. But it struck me that a particular guy just kind of hangs out on the side of the go-kart there and acts like it's a normal thing. So now I was taking pictures here a while, and this particular gentleman, who seemed to be either the owner or the manager here of the bumper cars, I think I may have said go-karts, actually bumper cars, he wanted to know why I was taking pictures of his particular little establishment here, and I told him, and then he seemed okay with it, and he gave me kind of the peace sign there, and we've got that picture of him. All right, let's see what we got next. And this particular shot, I honestly am not sure what's going on and why these donkeys were all dressed up. I did not see people riding around on the donkeys at this fair, but I really like the way everyone is posed in this picture. And they're not posed, this is just the way it was. But you have this pregnant woman here, in kind of this kind of very elaborate looking dress next to this very elaborate looking donkey, and almost I think maybe it's her profile because she's pregnant. It almost like seems like some sort of sculpture that's standing right there, and she's really having an interesting conversation, looks like, with this man here in the black shirt, and just next to this donkey with a bunch of flowers. You know, it seems normal. And this lady over here in the far left, it looks like she's posing as well for us next to these donkeys. So not something you see, at least where I'm from, but seemed to be a rather normal occurrence for them that day, which was kind of interesting. Okay, now going back to the customer service and the employees and vendors and so forth, and we have a camel that is super dressed up. I don't know if he can even breathe or eat or drink water because he's got so many flowers stuffed into his face, but presumably you could go up to this man in the blue shirt and you could have a ride here on the camel. Can't say I saw too many people actually partaking, which is maybe why he has that kind of bored expression on his face. but or maybe that's just the way it was. But notice the camel's well behaved. Doesn't even have to hold on to the rope there. The camel just sits there and is obedient. So I guess this camel is used to the fairs. One side note, in case you're wondering, this Tunisia is in North Africa. A lot of people think it's a land of camels. No one really goes around on a camel. It's not the the 17, 1800s here. So the camel is more of a decorative item at this point in Tunisian culture. Maybe a little bit in the southern, more rural areas. Occasionally you might see one, but not something you'll see every day on the street. Okay, and going back to the vendors not having a particularly good time, I think this is quite a juxtaposition of that. You have the little girl bouncing up and down on the trampoline, having a wonderful time. I don't know if you can see, these are pretty low light, but I still think they're worth showing to you. She's having a great time. She's smiling or yelling something, having a great time, and he's just there. But maybe he's a little bit happier because he has a customer. The camel guy did not have a customer. I don't know why that gate is in front of his particular booth, but interesting layout of his little area there. So, okay, fun little shot right here. The little kid enjoying his cotton candy that he just got. I think he was using it like a sword or something like that. Simple, fun shot. And let's see here. In fact, I'm going to skip ahead in my particular pictures here, and I'll show you this particular shot is of this is where they're making the cotton candy. The expression on that guy's face, though, does look like he's enjoying it a little bit more than some. So that is good that he's doing that. Okay, let me see here. So this particular shot, I love the composition and how, this guy over here with the black diesel shirt has kind of got his arm on his friend there. Just, a fun time with the guys. I was told to stay away from these people because they might be gambling, but I think it looked like it was a fun shot here. So go ahead and skip ahead here. Okay, now I did mention this particular fair was an international market of sorts, and you can see some vendors that have come. This is one particular shot that I like quite a bit. Let's avoid the baby hanging from the rope first, and we'll focus down here to the bottom right. You see a lot of lifelike mannequins there. It's not like in this country where they're just made of like a white, expressionless face. These particular mannequins have some character, and they're modeling the clothes and so forth. And then I'm assuming this baby hanging, as disturbing as that image is, I'm assuming they're doing that because they want to advertise. They also sell, for clothes for babies or for small children. But the idea of hanging the kid from a hook, maybe there's a rope around there or something. I don't know, but it looks a little bit scary. I'm sure the vendor didn't think that, but maybe they'll think about that next time. Okay, so those are kind of the things from the particular fair. I want to add a couple other images in here as well, although all this may not have been on the same day. In the particular area of the fair, as I recall, there's a restaurant there that's a knockoff of McDonald's. Tunisia does not have a lot of foreign restaurant chains and things like that, although I do believe in the capital, Tunis, they have McDonald's now. So I'm not sure how long this restaurant will be around in a legal sense. McDoner, it is a knockoff of McDonald's, and you have a smiley face there. I guess try not to look too much like Ronald McDonald, but that's the outside of the restaurant. And I'll show you, this is actually my meal I ate that day. You got your little sandwich right there, your little fries, got your ketchup. I think we came with a soda as well that must be off camera. I just love the color. That's one big thing in Tunisia you notice. It's a lot of, at least in Sfax particularly, it's kind of a desert area. And there's a lot of, beige and gray, and, it can look a little bit gloomy sometimes, but they love to add this pop of color, especially as it's done here at McDoner. I think this is more colorful than McDonald's is actually. So kind of creative. One thing too, I know this is a fairly close up, but these portions are not nearly as large as they are in America. Might be half or even less. Must be why they don't have an obesity epidemic in Tunisia like we have here in America. So kind of a fun thing there. Okay, now this particular thing, this was another kind of fair that was being put on for some, I believe, some European students that were passing through Sfax and kind of a tour, and this was set up for them. There was some little booths of like information about the city. I'm not sure this particular guy was invited, but he showed up and started a little bit of a dance, and I'm calling him the haram man, and the reason being is haram in Arabic means sinful. And apparently this particular man is doing some sort of performance or worship to an idol or some sort of saint, some sort of distinguished person, and that in Tunisia, which is a majority Muslim country, that is looked down upon. You're not supposed to worship people other than God, but this guy, I guess, kind of sort of was. So I was told, this is not a good thing. A couple people wanted to point that out to me just to make sure I knew. I thought that was interesting. So of course I took a picture because that's what you do when people point out things. So I think he was staring right at me in this particular one. It's such an interesting outfit. I don't know what all of this means, but kind of spooky. I think we're airing this a little bit past Halloween, but be a good Halloween outfit probably for you. All right. And this particular one, I actually pulled this one up recently. Kind of a spooky image. There he is in his outfit. And this apparently, I asked, this is his flag for his saint. I guess every saint or something has a flag that represents them. So they're waving the flag there. This is his particular flag, and it's kind of almost covering his face there. And you can tell a lot of people are watching him, and I wonder, are they there being entertained? Or are they having a religious experience? Are they standing there in horror? I just don't know. The only people I spoke to said this was sinful and didn't really want to stick around. So I'm not quite sure what was in the minds of these particular people that were standing around. I was just there out of curiosity. I didn't really understand what was going on. So yeah, we never really saw the man inside the mask there, but that is him. So I think we're going to close that out for the Tunisian fair selection here today. So over the next few weeks, we'll probably do some other videos on Tunisia, and we'll kind of go through here almost like we're doing a slide presentation or something like it. So I hope you like this new kind of format, doing some more pictures than the last time, and that's why I've got my printouts here so I can follow along with you. So well, I do appreciate you watching photo story here whenever it is, afternoon, evening, morning. And on behalf of Nala and I, as she got a big clump of hair in her mouth. Sweetie, you got to be careful with that and won't digest that. So we'll see if we have a hair bulb later today. Appreciate you watching, and you have a good one. Bye-bye. You need the video. I need you. You gotta jump, sweetie. You gotta jump. Oh, good. Good, good, good. Okay. Now, camera's right there. Okay, you sit here. There we go. Good kitty.